And now to energy. With all that's going on in the Middle East, the price of crude topped $100 a barrel yesterday for the first time since 2008. To turn that pricey crude into gas for the car, the oil, of course, must be refined. But investigators have found many refineries have failed to properly maintain aging equipment. Brian Ross says that has led to grave concerns. Brian?
Cynthia, the business of turning oil into gasoline involves lots of dangerous chemicals. But one chemical in particular has federal safety and Homeland Security officials very worried. And as we found, for good reason. In Corpus Christi, Texas, the warning sirens come at all times of the day and night from the oil refineries just down the street.
You never know when you go to bed if you're going to live through the night or if you have to run through the night.
Fear is a fact of life for miles around in this community.
This is a weekly pattern.
People wonder, is it a test, a false alarm, or the real thing, like the last time?
You may hear a whistle blow for a few minutes and you don't know if you're going to gas or something exploding over there or what.
Few have forgotten what happened the last time, less than 2 years ago, when an explosion at the Citgo refinery released a little-known but highly lethal chemical called hydrofluoric acid that just barely missed the neighborhood.
Flames were straight down the street there at the refinery, and some flames were coming over the top of those trees.
Now some residents keep a bag packed at the door, ready to flee.
The fear is there, and not only for me, but for everybody.
This is what they fear. An unchecked release of the hydrofluoric acid, as seen in this industry test film, creating a kind of death cloud that swept across the Nevada desert. And it's a risk far beyond just Corpus Christi. An ABC News investigation with the Center for Public Integrity found 50 oil refineries using hydrofluoric acid, from Houston to Minneapolis to Los Angeles to Philadelphia and in between, putting some 16 million unsuspecting Americans in potential kill zones.
Your lungs hurt, you can't breathe. The lungs can't function. Eventually, you die from asphyxiation.
Dr. Ronald Koopman was a scientist at the Lawrence Livermore Government Labs when he helped conduct the hydrofluoric acid studies in conjunction with Amoco oil.
It actually penetrates the skin, destroying the tissue, trying to get to the bones and react. It's a very, very strong acid.
So this is really nasty.
It's really nasty stuff.
Dr. Koopman says the oil companies did not want the video made public and insisted on posting a disclaimer that the test could not be used to estimate what might happen in a real accident. But Dr. Koopman says it could.
An accident could be this bad. An accident could look like this.
There are alternatives to hydrofluoric acid, but the industry says it would be too expensive to retrofit refineries, and that the use of the chemical is safe with proper precautions.
Have a seat right here.
Charles Drevna is the president of the Oil Refineries Trade Group.
The track record indicates that over 70 years, while there have been incidents, it's been a reliable product that gets the job done.
But in the last 2 years alone, there have been 29 fires and explosions at refineries that use hydrofluoric acid, including this one across the river from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Refineries are as safe as we can make them be.
They're as safe as you can make them.
But we have to understand that safety is the #1 issue.
You would admit it's not a good safety record.
No, I'm not saying it's not a good one, but we, as anything else, it has to be. Safety is an evolving process.
Investigators say the problem has become critical now because the oil refinery industry has failed to maintain aging equipment. After a hydrofluoric acid release in 2009 at the Sunoco refinery in Philadelphia, near the city's sports stadiums, federal investigators found the company had failed to correct deficiencies, including an established history of tube leaks dating back to 1973.
The priority seems to be on production, and safety seems to take a backseat.
The chairman of the government's Chemical Safety Board, Rafael Moret-Arasso, says the industry mentality is to run the refineries until they break.
So basically what we're talking about is that you are running this to failure.
In the case of Citgo in Corpus Christi, the company says there was never any danger to the nearby neighborhood from the hydrofluoric acid release. But officials say for the people who live nearby, it was more a case of luck, a shift in the winds that prevented a catastrophe.
Can you really rely on luck to protect the American public?
No, and if we relied on luck to protect anything, then we should be up for criticism. But we don't rely on luck. We rely on technology.
But how do you explain what happened in that case?
Going forward, I can.
No, how do you explain what happened in that case?
I can't. We can't look in the rearview mirror.
Hardly reassuring words for the people of Corpus Christi, who hear the sirens all day and all night, wondering if this is the day their luck will run out. Just yesterday, the state of Texas fined Citgo $300,000 for safety violations at the refinery that led to that last accident. And now officials of the United Steelworkers Union, whose members work at many of those refineries, are calling on Congress to ban the use of that chemical.